Okay, who does the meep?
Meep.
Yeah, from the... Remember Dr. Bunsen Honeydew? Which is a trivia question on Roku, by the way.
Beaker.
That's it. Thank you. I still like the Swedish Chef better. As long as you got the hum, the bloom, and the flub, the derb in there a couple of times, you're good to go.
Okay.
I didn't know I spoke Swedish, and when I went to Sweden and tried it, it didn't work well.
Bunsen Honeydew here.
Those were the days when things were,
Weird.
funny.
Welcome to This Is True Really News. Thank you so much for being here. And what?
Kermit really did have a hand up his...
Yeah. Coming up today, something from the Good News Network. Yep, something from the Good News Network.
Oh, that hurts when I do that. There is such a thing?
Yeah. Yeah, and Jessica Thompson found it. If you like...
Is there an Earl or something?
I don't know. Now...
You've got this...
Right in front of me. Just relax your sphincter, and we're going to move along.
I can't. It has to speak now.
I'm not putting my head down there again.
And there it spoke.
If you like This Is True Really News, and
we have no clue as to why
wouldn't you? Hit like, subscribe, and follow. Hit the bell so you get identified for the.
I'm on the other side. Why would you? Really?
And if you got to send us something long, send it to TITR@netradio.network.
This is True Really News with Scott Combs and Tony Vercanis. All the news you're about to hear is true.
Really?
As far as you know.
That might have been stellar.
Might.
I tuned out, but it might have been terrific.
I wasn't listening either.
See, people, you don't watch the show? Why? I'm in it and I don't pay attention to it then.
Why would I spend 20 more minutes?
So as long as we seem to have this Europe thing going.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Billa Supermarkets? Billa? They're in Europe.
Yeah, I may have seen
Blaine. I realize there's a difference.
I may have seen the name. Well, yeah, but I've done a ton of stuff for Aldi. Voiceovers for Aldi, and they're out of Essen, Germany, in Europe.
Really?
Yeah. By the way, so is Trader Joe's. It's his brother. I'm serious. It's two brothers.
Oh, I'm just thinking of all the folks who shop at Trader Joe's, for those reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Wincing. Grocery shoppers in some Billa supermarkets in Europe are finding themselves face to face with the latest innovation in food technology.
Oh.
And it is fresh.
The automatic hot dog peeler?
Off the printer.
There's a printer?
Yes, the Austrian-based food tech startup. Which means they had to go out and get investment for this. The Austrian-based food tech startup Revo Foods has developed a 3D printed vegan fish fillet inspired by salmon.
It was at a salmon opera. They were just sitting there, and the guy all of a sudden says, I know!
And now we have fake fish inspired by real fish.
And it's salmon substitute.
Wouldn't a hot dog be salmon substitute?
Everything's salmon substitute.
If it's not salmon.
A door jam would be salmon substitute.
Popular Science reported it relies on mycoprotein, MICO protein.
Whatever
made from nutrition-heavy filamentous fungi.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
That naturally offers a meat-like texture.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
The company has announced that the filet will be available in its web store now, but they are so sorry, U.S.-based wannabe print. What would they be, Presbyterians?
I don't know. I'm Methodist.
Revo only ships to the EU only, for which I know two people who are eternally grateful.
Americists.
The company expects to reach the U.S., though, sometime next year in 2025. Why, I ask?
Not doing it.
If we have meat and fish and poultry.
And salmon being my favorite fish.
Really?
Yeah,
I still
love
like
salmon.
sunfish fried up. Oh,
Oh, that
little
is good.
beer
You're
batter.
right. You're right. They're great, but salmon's my favorite.
Salmon's not bad. Oh,
Smoked or
so
baked.
if we have actual fish,
Yes.
animals,
Yes.
the like,
Yep.
that are tasty and yes, nutritious,
And oh, so good for you.
why the hell are we trying to hide them as vegetables? I mean, let's look. This vegetable is just like no, dude. Do it the way it's meant to be. Have them eat the vegetable,
And then we eat them.
and then we eat them.
It's the way
How
God
hard is
ordained
this?
it.
It is not rocket science.
Speaking of Europe, from the Good News Network via Jessica Thompson. In the town of Whitehorse, the 10-hour drive from Juneau, Alaska.
Right next to Gray Horse,
Two
2 over from.
Black Horse.
Where's White Horse? That's
Over there.
take a
2
look.
doors down. Bathers dip into the naturally warmed waters at Eclipse Nordic
Isn't that
Hot
Dolly Parton?
Springs. What?
Isn't that Dolly Parton?
There's
2 doors
laughing
down.
and drinking and having a party.
That's the one.
Yeah, here we go.
Hey,
People are dipping in the hot springs. Shut up. If the
dipping
outdoor
what?
I'm just about to try to tell you.
Sorry.
If the outdoor temps
You get so crabby when you get interrupted. What is the deal?
I have interruptus crabbeus. That that's in no way what I meant.
Wow.
And you know it.
And leave.
If the outdoor temps are cold enough, and God knows things just got cooler here in the studio, people can make their hair freeze into wacky shapes. Temperatures need to drop below -4 degrees Fahrenheit for an extended period to get the best frozen hairstyles that could win a $2,000 prize. Well, that was pretty good.
What's that get?
Contest categories include Best Female and Male, Best Group, Best Facial Hair, and a People's Choice Award. And every category winner receives $2,000 in cash. They kick off the hair freezing contest as soon as the temperature drops below, -20 centigrade or lower, said Satyam Jain, spokesperson for the hot springs. We usually keep an eye on the forecast to see how long the cold temp will last and start the contest anytime between December and March. Well,
A little wiggle room.
they have a somewhat narrow window.
Hard to
because
get
it's not the whole
spectators.
year, right? It's not the full contact sport that a lot of the others are.
Yeah, but there's violence involved. So I have. Yeah.
So the website includes instructions on how to freeze hair. You ready, Tone?
Sure.
1, dip your head in the hot springs and wet your hair completely. Don't worry, freezing your hair won't damage it. Yay.
It's the only part of me that won't be damaged by freezing. So cool.
Allow the cold air to slowly freeze your hair. Keep your ears warm by periodically dipping in the hot water. Yeah, dip.
How do I dip the ears in the hot water without getting the hair in the hot water?
This
is for long-haired people.
No,
I can tell.
This is
Like that.
Robin Hood Men in Tights. You take the ears off. Dip. Put them back on. What?
That was a movie.
Oh,
Funnier than most people give it credit for. By the way.
I thought it was a documentary.
Well, Mel Brooks does do a lot of documentaries, but he called that Blazing Saddles.
Try making that one today. Be patient. All wet hair will eventually freeze. This includes eyebrows and even eyelashes. And nostril hairs, those of us in Minnesota can tell you. Once your hair has become pure white with lots of frost and ice buildup, ring the bell near the pool entrance and have our staff come out to take your photo. I think I'm going to give it a try.
Oh, can I go? Can I go, please, with you?
Sure.
Can I bring a camera?
I'm going to do my nostril hairs.
Video crew?
I can bring a nice handlebar mustache.
I thought you already did that in the winter anyway.
Yeah, probably. Woof.
You love that when the frost's there. A Krispy Kreme driver, he said, changing gears.
Yes. Krispy Kreme.
When I had the long hair.
Yep.
See, then you could but you couldn't really dip your ears into it because. Sorry, hold this, but be very gentle. It's freezing.
Yes.
A Krispy Kreme driver delivering donuts to an express convenience store on Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Alaska, where it's also very cold.
We're back in Alaska.
We're actually north to Alaska.
Oh.
Or are they south of it? I know they're west of us. I don't think they're south of us.
Hush, you muskies.
This driver learned the hard way to lock up your van no matter where you are because donut thieves raided his ride and got their fill.
They took all the Bismarcks.
Probably got their Jonah, a couple of Bob's worth. Oh, F-I-L-L. Sorry, wrong fill.
Yes.
The pair were a mama bear and her cub.
Ah, I get it. Okay.
According to Shelley Dino, the manager of the express store that did not get any of the Krispy Kreme donuts, they ate 20 packages of the donut holes, and I believe 6 of the 3-pack chocolate donuts.
And kept ordering coffee.
Walked right through the drive-thru and nobody batted an eye.
These two need coffee to cut the sweet, I'm telling you.
You have either that
Krispy
or
Kremes need coffee. You can't just eat them.
Or you have to go get a bacon sandwich afterwards.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
With Krispy Kreme as the buns. KTUU-TV. See, now if you take 2 Krispy Kremes and put a ton of bacon between it.
Yeah. Even better.
You'd be wealthy. KTUU.
Ka-choo!
TV reported that no humans or bears were injured during the raid. And base security was able to convince the bears to leave. Mrs. Bear?
You've eaten all the donuts, ma'am.
You've eaten the good ones.
Yeah.
So could you and Junior leave the rest maybe or they just blasted loud sirens? I'm not sure which they did.
Yeah, whichever. They get them.
They both work. I mean, bears are always known for their ability to be. It's the word I'm thinking of. Well, they're bears, so you can't really talk to them. Never mind.
I did see there's 2.
Much like Chicago, but never mind that either. A whole other bear.
That you reminded me of. A guy coming out of his house turned left to go around the corner to get to his truck that was in the driveway.
Yeah.
Around that corner came a bear. The bear stood straight up and the guy went, "Get out of here."
So the bear did. See, now, if you're in the forest and y'all try that with, say, a very large brown bear that might be of grizzly extraction.
Yeah, no, that does not work.
The next
Black
word
bears,
you're going
maybe.
to hear, next thing you're going to hear is, "Bless us, O Lord," and it's going to be the bear.
Then you're going to hear nom, 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 nom.
Well, you're not going to hear much after that. You might hear a crunch or two, but it'll be over.
Spycraft stories. You ready?
Jason Bourne or James Bond?
Yes.
Why do American spies always end up fighting against the American government, whereas British spies always fight for their government against other governments? Generally.
I don't know because it's funny because their wokeness didn't last as long as ours did. I think it's odd.
We're still mired in it.
Yeah.
Trying to leave now.
Some of the CIA's highly trained agents in the 1960s were, guess, Tony, they were
porpoises.
Felines.
No, that's not it.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. How do you? All right. Stay with me. Walked into a friend's house one evening, and it was distinct cat behavior. Cat was on the floor.
From your friend?
Looked up at me.
Mm-hmm.
Decided not worth the effort.
Mm-hmm.
Went up on top of the TV where it was nice and warm. I sat down. We were drinking some coffee. And all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, maybe, the cat looked at me and like he was 5 minutes late for an appointment in the bedroom.
Yep. To lay down yet again.
So I had to follow him, and he was curled up at the foot end of the bed.
Yep.
Those are spies.
These felines were fitted with ear microphones and skull transmitters.
All right, well, now we're getting into creepy-ish that I kind of like.
The agency was targeting an Asian head of state for surveillance, and during the target's long strategy sessions with his aides, cats wandered in and out of the meeting area. Now, this is according to a book, Spycraft, written by 2 former CIA agents.
Psst.
What?
Are you going to tell me how they get him to stop?
No.
Oh.
Project Acoustic Kitty cost $20 million, but it was abandoned when researchers acknowledged what we already know. Cats don't do as they're told. All right, go in there and listen to him.
Cats don't even acknowledge that they were told.
Okay. This back in
Martha, did you hear something? Sounded human.
Yeah. The B-58 Hustler was a Mach 2 jet created in the 1950s to deliver nuclear weapons to the USSR. And I don't even remember the Hustler.
Why are we delivering them nuclear weapons? Didn't they have their own?
Well, maybe that's what got this whole thing started to begin with.
Could be.
Holy cow, that was a mistake. U.S. Air Force wanted to include ejector seats, but how could they test the equipment?
How could they?
They first experimented on the ground with acceleration sleds and recruits from the unemployment lines.
Oh.
They then
hang on. Oh.
They then moved up the chain to chimps before settling on
Technically, middle management would have been next.
bears. Drugged bears, according to military.com.
Found on any street in New York.
The animals were strapped in and ejected. While none died, some were injured before the program was discontinued. They're all paid off in donuts, as I understand.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
And finally,
oh, okay.
Among the many bizarre plots to topple or assassinate Cuban leader Fidel Castro,
And heaven knows we tried.
exploding cigars,
What?
exploding cigars,
It sounds like a bad Groucho Marx bit, dude.
seashell bombs.
That just sounds like a bad Barbie idea.
Here, Fidel, listen to this one. Well, then listen to this one.
Keep listening.
Why are they both ticking?
It's the sound of the ocean.
It was a plan to
You know, all the people have thrown their watches.
it was a plan to attack his beard to make him seem less virile.
You know when it's a slow day at Langley.
One failed plot involved sprinkling thallium salt on Castro's shoes during an overseas trip so his hair would fall out. Now, Castro canceled the visit. In all, he survived 634 attempts on his life, according to Castro's former counterintelligence chief, Fabian Escalante. He did die of natural causes in 2016 at the age of 90.
Are we sure?
I think he's probably still alive somewhere pulling strings.
I think he's in Vegas playing poker with Elvis, is my thought.
No, he's down there telling Maduro what to do.
Yeah, that'd be about right.
This is true, really news. Send email to TITR@netradio.network.